Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about the hypothetical matchup of Deontay Wilder versus Mike Tyson. And as you may or may not know, Deontay Wilder has mentioned in at least one interview that he believes he would beat Mike Tyson in his prime. Well, I don't know if he said a prime to be exact, or maybe he meant that he would beat an old, withered Mike Tyson towards the end of his career. And I could agree he would probably beat him because some other lower tier people beat him. And Deontay Wilder is a world champion, so he would beat that Mike Tyson. But his prime, I'm not too sure. I'm leaning towards Mike Tyson, but this is more so not going to be a who would win a hypothetical matchup, but more so a comparison of their careers. So let's get into it. I think as you all know, Mike Tyson was a very young, athletically gifted like monster, a force in the division, a force in the sport, and will go down in history. Well, is already down in history forever. Is this like pretty much the most menacing fighter and boxer in history, at least in the modern history, as we see it. Whenever somebody think of ferocious power and athleticism and boxing, you think of Mike Tyson. It's just like comes to mind. There's nobody else. There's a lot of dangerous people in boxing history, a lot of talent, a lot of skilled, hard hitting people, but you always think of Mike Tyson. That's like to his credit. That's Mike Tyson right there. And with Deontay Wilder, he wasn't really like didn't come out too young as like he didn't come out like in boxing like at 18, 17 and stuff, turn pro like Mike Tyson did and win world titles. He's kind of in my opinion, I say a late bloomer. He was like a bronze medalist in the Olympics, but he's more of a late bloomer, I think, who keeps like I think at this point still getting better. With Mike Tyson, I think his prime was more so in his early to mid 20s, whereas Deontay Wilder, I think he still really hasn't reached his prime yet. I see improvements even in his like this last performance against Luis Ortiz. I saw improvements. When I used to see Deontay Wilder, he's still like real kind of loosey goosey in the ways and like has his own little style and like still probably faults in his game. And sometimes they work for him, sometimes they work against him, but he still has his own little unique stuff that's like you gotta nitpick at. But I saw improvements. I saw slightly better head movement. He's fought a much better opponent than he has fought in his career, who was more technical, had that Olympic, I mean, like pretty much like like a huge amateur background and knew how to do setups and different types of combinations and turn different punches and switch them up. Pretty much a person with pretty much good textbook or a good book on boxing. Like they had a lot of huge arsenal stuff, and he was able to shut down a lot of stuff that Luis Ortiz was trying to set up. He was able to evade some punches. Usually he just pretty much just tall. He's usually just 6'8", and like so you can't really reach his head, but at this point, I saw him moving a lot more than I really see him. Most times, his head just like up on a pole, most times, but he gets away with it because he's 6'8". But in this fight, I saw him actually move his head and kind of do some slick movements here and there, like turn aside, duck down, and dodge a straight, like pretty much cross out the straight. That was like something like he's still improving in my opinion. He hasn't really reached prime with Mike Tyson. I was saying Mike Tyson, you knew where his prime was at, like especially at the end of his career. You know that it was between the early 20s to like probably like maybe at most 27 was when his prime was like his prime. 20 to 27 was his prime when you would say at his best. You know, he was still a real talented 18, but he hadn't yet fully developed yet, even though he was still doing so much like damage in this like in the division and pretty much such a force. But I say his real when he fully reached his potential, like his full maximum, like his peak, I would say it's somewhere between the 20 like early 20s to 27. And Mike Tyson, they're both. I don't think neither fighter is really like the most super technical fighter. They're not no Mayweathers, Lomachenkos, Rigondeaux, or Andre Wards, and etc. 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 Not no Oscar De La Hoya type fighters, or Sweet Pea. Any fighter that you can think of that's technical. They're not like neither of them are like the fighters that really just super rely on technique and have this huge technique. Mike Tyson certainly was more technical than a lot of people give him credit for. He had a good jab, had good head movement, but his technique wasn't really what got him there. I mean, wasn't really what you think of when you think of Tyson. And it's not to say his technique isn't good, but they're not those type of fighters that heavily rely on technique. They have a lot of athleticism, they have a lot of power. I said Mike Tyson even more so. But I don't know. I'm not getting off topic, but just to say, I say technically, I still get edge of Tyson. I think Tyson's more technical than Deontay Wilder. I think Deontay Wilder is like improving on his technique. Like I said, I think in the last fight with Luis Ortiz, he showed more technique than I ever seen from him, and he made some needed improvements. I think he's still getting better, so you'll probably see his technique improve. But I think it's never going to be to the point where he's going to be like some Olympic style boxer that has like a 400 amateur fights, and they like pretty much like box like a, I don't know, like a wizard magician type Mayweather Lomachenko type fighter where they just it's not just evade stuff so smoothly with just like the slightest of movements and stuff. You know how to have that a jab master down. Matter of fact, I don't think he'll even be like a Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, Olympic gold medalist, but I think he'll kind of get closer to that. But I don't think he ever reached that. And that's not to say it's a bad thing or that's holding him back. I'm saying, oh, those people are better than him. I think Deontay Wilder couldn't go far and pretty much put his name up there with legends and history and in the rankings, all time greats. But I still think he had a lot to prove, and I think he's improving a lot as well. Mike Tyson, his career is cemented. He's already retired, long since retired, not coming back, can't do nothing. His career is a wrap. Only he could do is damage it if he tries to come back. But right, as far as his career, one of the best careers ever in boxing. One of the best resumes. One of the best stories. One of the best like icons. And it was a force in his time. So I'm not gonna say who would win, even though I'm really saying Mike Tyson will win in his prime. I think Deontay Wilder hasn't yet established his prime. You know, like you gotta wait till maybe some more stuff is done. Maybe after a Joshua fight or after this fight, he had like a really real big fight that's gonna be like will tell the story of his career, like a career defining. Like, this last fight was a big fight. It wasn't like exactly career defining. Like he fights his equal or his rival or the person like. So I think that's like Anthony Joshua for now. Unless someone else comes, I think the Anthony Joshua fight would be the fight that's like really would like kind of cement him and saying this is really he really came out if he beats Anthony Joshua. Like he really came out and made a statement if he beats him. So this fight, I mean not in this fight, but just in general, I think all in all to wrap it up, they're both great fighters. Mike Tyson obviously been a super legend. I think Deontay Wilder, how he swings so wide and loosey-goosey a lot of times will make him a perfect target for Mike Tyson. As Mike Tyson was very good at slipping and countering and slipping and attacking. And those big openings would just be, Mike Tyson would just eat those up. It would be like taking candy from a baby. It'd be too easy. But yeah, I kind of gave my analysis over. I think Tyson is obviously the shorter fighter, faster, explosive, good at slipping, like more technical. Not too much more technical, but definitely more sharp with his punches. Deontay Wilder's like very loose a lot of times, but yeah, Deontay Wilder obviously got that height. He has power too, has range. He's improving. He's starting to reach his prime yet. As far as I'm concerned, he hasn't solidified his prime. And Mike Tyson, you already know his prime. And that completes this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.